Hello guys, and welcome to the 11th tutorial in our Python language basics. Here we're going to explore tuples. We'll follow a similar format to our list tutorial where we'll turn to Google Colab. We're going to work on creating tuples, accessing tuple elements, and then take a look at some common tuple operations. Now because these are somewhat similar to lists, we'll spend some time kind of comparing them, talking about the similarities, differences, etc. So let's head on over there now. Now last time we talked about two-dimensional lists. Hopefully you're comfortable with those. We won't necessarily need them for these upcoming sections, but do make sure you're okay with lists before moving forwards. So let's go ahead and create a new cell. Just zoom in there for you guys to be able to see it a little better, and let's get started with some tuples. So the biggest difference between tuples and lists, and the one thing that we really need to remember here, is that tuples are immutable, which means they cannot change. They're just there to store values one time, whereas lists are mutable. We can add things to them, we can insert, we can remove things from them, we can change the elements, etc. We can basically do anything we want with lists, but tuples are really there just to kind of hold a value for kind of like a one-time use. However, the setup is somewhat similar. We can basically create them as we did with lists, where we have the name and then the assignment. However, because it's a tuple, we actually put these in just regular parentheses. So one example of this might be if we were to have, let's say, an inventory, coming back to this inventory example, but we want not only the item name, but also the quantity. Okay, you'll very often see this with any kind of like RPG game. My first thing that comes to mind is like health kits or some kind of food, something that you eat to heal yourself, something that you consume, because usually you have more than one of them. Okay, so a tuple might look something like this. Okay, so we'll say something like item is going to be equal to, and then in the parentheses we put our values, again separated by commas like with lists. Now tuples are a great place to hold kind of multiple different types of variables. We know that we can do this with lists, but you'll see this more often with tuples. Okay, so we might have the item name here. Let's do something like health kit. Okay, and then we'll have the quantity. Let's say we have 4 health kits. Okay, so this would be an example of a tuple. We can put as many values here as we want. We do other stuff. We can do true or false values, whatever we want. We can have it all be of the same type. We can have these all be strings if we want. But in our case, we'll just have the 2 values. Okay, so these are index-based, just like lists. So if we want to access a specific item, we do so based on its index. So for example, I could say name is equal to item at the index of 0, whereas this guy would be the quantity. The quantity is equal to item of 1. If we want, we can go ahead and print out name and quantity. Let's just do those to see. So we'll go ahead and run that cell, and absolutely we can do that. Now the difference comes in if we want to change these. So let's say I wanted to say, actually, I'm going to just cut that out and I'm going to paste it in here, but I'm not going to do any kind of assignment. I'm actually going to say item of 1 is equal to, maybe we have 10 health kits. We picked up a bunch or something like that. So now we want to print out the item to see how it changes. We actually get an error here. Okay, and the problem is, again, that tuples are immutable. So we've assigned this, and even though we're using the proper syntax and all, we can't really change them. Okay, not only can we not reassign this value here, but we can't add anything to it or take anything away from it. So that means no appending, no inserting, no popping, no clearing, no removing, none of that. Okay, we can, on the other hand, set item to be something completely different if we want, because that's not actually modifying the value of this tuple. That's just storing a different value at this location. Okay, so for example, let's say, obviously we can't do this, so let's go ahead and comment that out. But let's say I want to assign this a different value. So maybe I'm doing something like, I don't know, knife. Okay, and I only have one of these. All right, now I'll go ahead and print out the item. That should be fine. You see no problems there. Again, because we're not actually modifying these values, we're not modifying the value of the tuple, we're just kind of reassigning, or rather assigning a different value to wherever this variable is stored. Okay, so that's a big thing. Now, because there are no kind of modification functions, there are only really 2 unique tuple functions that we can call. And these are going to be count and index. So count is going to be used to return how many of a specific item exist in the tuple, and index is going to return us the lowest possible index or the first occurrence of a specific item. So I know that's kind of hard to process just hearing me talk about it, so let's see these guys in action. So what we could do is, let's say, within this tuple item, now it's knife in 1, we want to return the number of times that knife comes up. Okay, so we're just going to print out item.count, and then within count we're going to put knife. Okay, and this is going to return us 1. Makes sense, there is only one knife in this tuple. If for whatever reason I had another one, it doesn't really make much sense in our context, but we could do that. We'd have 2. Okay, and the index, on the other hand, returns us the first index of an item. So let's say we want item.index. We don't want knife, we actually want index of 1. Okay, well that's going to return us 1. Again, makes sense. There is only one 1, and it is at index 0 and 1. Okay, so that's just going to return us the first index. If we try to search for something that doesn't exist, okay, then that's actually not even going to return us 0 or something else. It's going to give us an error. So we always want to make sure that we have this item before we search for its index. One way you could do that is by saying what is the item.count of whatever element we're searching for. Let's say count of this, and then if it's 0, then we're not going to search this. If it's 1 or more, then we can search it. Okay, so that's kind of how you'd circumvent that issue there. Otherwise, we can get some other properties of a tuple, just like with lists. Actually, on that note, these two functions also are attached to lists, like we can call count and index on lists, and they work in exactly the same way. But if we want to call upon these 3 functions, for example, length, max, and min, we absolutely can. So let's just go ahead and just demonstrate that there. If we want the length of item, okay, max and min of items, then we can absolutely do that. Oh, and let's see. Well, we should be able to, except that, of course, we're trying to compare 2 unlike values, so it doesn't really make much sense. If we had reassigned item to be something like 1, 2, and 3, okay, then that would be totally fine. We can absolutely do that. But again, just due to the dynamic nature of Python, we do need to do some kind of type checking to make sure that we are trying to compare reasonable types. Absolutely, it was right to give us that error. We can't find the maximum value of something when we're trying to compare a string to an integer. It doesn't really make any sense there. Okay, so otherwise that is it. Tuples are super straightforward. Again, they're kind of read-only. Once they've been written to once, that's it. You can't really modify the value of the tuple. We saw a couple of the functions that we can call. Again, there are actually a few more functions that we can call on tuples, but they all follow this sort of format. These are the only tuple-specific functions that we'll see. All right, so the key takeaway here is that lists are mutable. We can change them. Tuples are immutable. They are really just used to temporarily store data. So in the next section, we'll be covering dictionaries. Dictionaries are perhaps my favorite collection type, as nerdy as that sounds, just because they're a bit more interesting and I find them more useful than lists for a lot of unique situations. Okay, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.